is Vikas Salgia and proud father of Kushi. So this is back in 99, 2000. And at the time, I was working in India for a company and there was an economic downturn. And when there was an economic downturn in the United States, the ripples were felt all across the world, including in India and at our company. And while I still had my job, I wondered how long before I would also be on the chopping block. And so that made me really question my skills. And I asked myself the question that what if our company went down to 10 employees? Would I still be at the company? And when I thought long and hard about it, the answer came back to be no. And that forced me to think about acquiring new skills. So I started looking at an MBA program, Masters in Business Administration, a graduate degree. For my application, I needed some recommendation letters, and I approached my boss in the company. This is what he said. He said, you know, Vikas, if there's one thing that is still great made in America, it's an MBA, and you should apply. And so that got me thinking, and I told him that, you know, it's a 2-year program. It's not, you know, being far away from the family and the comfort of a home for 2 years was not my plan, and it's exorbitantly expensive. And he said, I will pay for your application fee. So I saw his desire for me to go to the United States and apply, and while I didn't take the money from him, I did take his advice, and I decided to apply to schools in the United States. I've found the people of the United States and people of California to be extremely accepting, welcoming, and I've never felt out of place. Having said that, as an international student, I guess everybody goes through some cultural adjustment and some minor struggle. Well, one was, as I mentioned, Kushi was just born. She was about 3 months old when I moved to the United States for my MBA. So I dearly missed my family, especially baby Kushi. And I would get to see snippets of her, pictures of her, and some short videos when they were able to send it to me. The other was that I would move from a tropical country. The winter in Davis also seemed bitterly cold to me, so that was a little bit of a struggle for me. But other than that, most of the things worked out really well. The two big challenges that I faced, one was Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected as the governor. And to balance the budget, things he did was he raised, or the government raised the fees for international students. So now, to the extent that it went up by 150%, so now I had this fees to be paid for my second year that I had no plan for. And I didn't want to ask money from back home, and I didn't want to take additional loans. So that summer between my first and second year of my MBA, I had an internship that paid for some of the bills, and I did 2 additional jobs. So I had about 3 jobs that summer. I worked really, really hard during those 3 months, and somehow figured out a way to get the required money. So that was one struggle, but things worked out okay. But the bigger one was actually finding a job where I could apply my skills as an MBA, and that was a weak job market, and I searched really long, really hard. I tried to network, and I did lots of interviews. I cold called companies. I sent my resumes, and until about a week before my graduation, I did not have a job. Turned out there was an alum who was visiting the campus, and I decided to sort of ask her to just meet with her. And she reached out to me and said, she was running about 3 or 4 hours late that day, and if I wanted, I could cancel the meeting with her and meet with her some other day, or I would have to wait another 3 or 4 hours to be able to meet with her. I took my chances, and I told her, I'd still love to meet with her. I'm okay waiting, and I waited for her. Somehow, we met for about only half hour, but we connected and we hit it off. In 2 or 3 days, she actually offered me a job as a consultant. And I vividly remember that was the day that was also Kushi's second birthday. And as an international student on a really, really tight budget, we celebrated Khushi's birthday and the fact that I got a job by going out to the Davis In-N-Out burger place.